we are going to discuss. So I'm very thankful to our HOD of department and all the faculty members who is supporting to for the successful of this workshop. So with the support of Almighty, so we are going to start this workshop. So I'm welcoming once again all the participants, students, faculties, and research scholars for this workshop. And one important information, at the end of every day, we'll be sharing you the feedback form and also as well as assessment. So every day you will be having one assessment. So those who are completing the assessments and feedbacks for all these 5 days will be given certificate at the end of the day. So I hope everyone will cooperate with this. Everyone mute your audio. So if suppose you're having doubts at the end of the session, you can ask by unmuting your audio. So now I'll be giving some basics introduction about artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay. Okay. So I think everyone is able to see the screen. So first, we'll see about the artificial intelligence. Okay. Listen. We everybody know about artificial intelligence, right? So every second by second in the world, okay. So everything around us is artificial intelligence techniques only. So deep learning. First we'll say about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, and I'll be telling you what are the differences between them. So first, you have to know what is intelligence. Yes, so every one of us have intelligence, right? So every human being have six senses. Okay, so the seventh sense, searching of seventh sense, is said to be the artificial intelligence, right? Okay. So please listen here. Actually, so artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science. Okay. Mm, so every all the applications today is discussing about artificial intelligence, right? Okay. For example, the very basic simple example, whenever you type some content in your mail without subject, and if you go to the subject after typing your mail content, the subject will show automatically according to the type of content you have typed, right? Yes. Okay. And also from the recipient list, it will be automatically giving you dear, like that. Yes. Okay. So these are all very basic examples of artificial intelligence, right? Okay. So how the technologies are improving day by day. So what is the basic need of improving technologies day by day? It's because of the need of memory and time. Okay, so whatever technology is developing, it's based upon the memory and time. Okay, so we people always we used to have less consumption of time. So whatever we do the work, it must be finished quickly. So that's what uh, AI, artificial intelligence, came into existence. Okay, so the human beings developed robots. Okay, so it will perform the work of human. It will imitate the human mind. That is artificial intelligence. Okay, so it will imitate the human mind and it will do all the work of human. So nowadays in all the I mean defense, scientific research, everywhere artificial intelligence is playing the main role. Yes. Okay, so okay, so the programs, okay, so that behave externally like humans. Okay, so so AI has main two purposes. Okay, so I think so whether you are able to see my screen, I hope. Okay, um so AI have mainly two purposes. Okay, so the main important thing is to imitate the human thinking. Okay, so that is the main important thing. And taking the history of AI, okay, AI started from 1943 itself. Yes. Okay, so from 1943, okay, so AI is came into existence. So so we have why the interest in AI. Okay, so we are using in science and defense applications and labor appliances. So when you take your very basic example, you would have studied about a vacuum cleaner. um, so are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So the main basic examples you can see in your home itself, that is vacuum cleaner, washing machine. Okay, so these are all the main basic examples of artificial intelligence, right? So and the search engines. Okay, so for example, if you browse something of your interest, for example, some branded items, some products, if you're browsing, okay, so then and there you will get updates of that particular product whenever you visit some other web pages also. So this is how collecting the user interest, right? So this is also the basic AI. Okay, so in medicine, okay, so for example, so now in this workshop we are going to see about COVID-19 forecasting. So that's by collecting all the data sets of COVID-19. Okay, so first of all, we'll be collecting the data sets and we'll be splitting the data sets into training set and testing data sets, and then we'll be developing a model related to that. And after applying that model, so how much efficiently we are predicting that using that model. So that's what we are going to see. So prediction is very important nowadays, right? Forecasting. Okay, so wherever you are going, so suppose you are a good forecaster, you are a good predictor, you are going given be a big hike in the market. Yes. Okay, so that's what we are developing models then and there in all the applications, in all the branches. Okay, so prediction is very important. Okay, so for example, if you take disease prediction, so first of all, we'll collect all the symptoms of the diseases. So if this symptom comes, what is the preventive measure? So what is the diagnosis? So what are the medicines they are developing? So which type of people they are getting, in which area they are getting? Okay, much more. So like this, all the factors are getting into considered, and based upon that a model will be developed, right? And applying that model, we'll be seeing the error accuracy. So if that error is less, okay, so your model is best. Okay, so that's what we are going to see. um, okay, so these are all the applications of AI: steering a driverless car. Okay, so robotic assistance in surgery. Okay, so in stock market. Okay, so in everywhere, these are the applications of AI, and these are all the movies you would have seen, I mean, applying the AI techniques, right? Okay, so So these are all the application areas we are using AI. For example, um, I mean, we used to play chess with the computer, right? Okay, so face detection. Okay, so these are all the applications we are using AI. And I think so. I'll be sharing a video with you now. Okay, so in which, okay, I mean, you can see how much AI is used. Okay.
Machines to mimic the behavior of humans. Machine learning is a subset of AI that focuses on getting machines to make decisions by feeding them data. On the other hand, deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses the concept of neural networks to solve complex problems. So, to sum it up, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning are interconnected fields. Machine learning and deep learning aids artificial intelligence by providing a set of algorithms and neural networks to solve data-driven problems. However, AI is not restricted to only machine learning and deep learning. It covers a vast domain of fields including natural language processing, object detection, computer vision, robotics, expert systems, and so on. Now, artificial intelligence can be structured along three evolutionary stages, or you can say that there are three different types of artificial intelligence. First, we have the artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and finally, artificial super intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence, which is also known as weak AI, involves applying artificial intelligence only to specific tasks. Now, many currently existing systems that claim to use artificial intelligence are operating as a weak AI focused on a narrowly defined specific problem. Now, Alexa is a very good example of narrow intelligence. It operates within a limited, predefined range of functions. There is no genuine intelligence or no self awareness, despite being a sophisticated example of weak AI. Other examples of weak AI include the face verification that you see in your iPhone, the autopilot feature at Tesla, the social humanoid Sophia, which is built at Hanson Robotics, and finally, we have Google Maps. All of these applications are based on weak AI or artificial narrow intelligence. Now let's take a look at artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is also known as strong AI. It involves machines that possess the ability to perform any intellectual task that a human being can. You see, machines don't possess human like abilities. They have a strong processing unit that can perform high level computations, but they're not yet capable of thinking and reasoning like a human. There are many experts who doubt that artificial general intelligence will ever be possible. And there are also many who question whether it should be desirable. I'm sure all of you have heard of Stephen Hawking. Now, he warned us that strong AI would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever increasing rate. Humans who are limited by slow biological evolution couldn't compete and would be superseded. Coming to artificial superintelligence, this is a term that refers to the time when the capabilities of computers will surpass human beings. Artificial superintelligence is presently seen as a hypothetical situation as depicted in movies and science fiction books where machines will take over the world. However, tech masterminds like Elon Musk believe that artificial superintelligence will take over the world by the year 2040. Now that you know the different types of artificial intelligence, let's take a look at how AI is used in the real world. From spotting an eight planet solar system, which is 2,500 light years away, to composing sonnets and poems, the applications of AI have covered all possible domains in the market. In the finance sector, JP Morgan's Chase Contract Intelligent platform uses artificial intelligence, machine learning, and image recognition software to analyze legal documents and extract important data points and clauses in a matter of seconds. Now, manually reviewing 12,000 agreements takes over 36,000 hours, but AI was able to do this in a matter of seconds. Coming to healthcare, IBM is one of the pioneers that has developed AI software specifically for medicine. More than 230 healthcare organizations worldwide use IBM Watson technology. In 2016, IBM Watson AI technology was able to cross reference 20 million oncology records and correctly diagnose a rare leukemia condition in a patient. Coming to the next application, Google's AI Eye Doctor is another initiative taken by Google where they are working with an Indian eye care chain to develop a AI system which can examine retina scans and identify a condition called diabetic retinopathy, which causes blindness. Coming to social media platforms like Facebook, artificial intelligence is used for face verification, wherein machine learning and deep learning concepts are used to detect facial features and tag your friends. Another such example is Twitter's AI, which is being used to identify hate speech and terroristic languages in tweets. It makes use of machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing to filter out offensive content. The company discovered and banned 300,000 terrorist linked accounts, 95% of which were found by non human, artificially intelligent machines. The Google predictive search is one of the most famous AI applications. When you begin typing a search term and Google makes recommendations for you to choose from, that is AI in action. Predictive searches are based on data that Google collects about you, such as your location, your age, and other personal details. By using AI, the search engine attempts to guess what you might be trying to find. Next, we have virtual assistants. Virtual assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Cortana are examples of artificial intelligence. A newly released Google's virtual assistant called Google Duplex has astonished millions of people. Not only can it respond to calls and book appointments for you, it adds a human touch. Now listen to this clip and try to distinguish between the AI and the human.
How may I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
For 7 people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people? When?
Next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually, we leave there for like after like 5 people. For 4 people, you can come.
So which one do you think is a virtual assistant? Let me know your answer in the comments. Now, another famous application of artificial intelligence is self-driving cars. AI implements computer vision, image detection, and deep learning to build cars that can automatically detect objects and drive around without human intervention. Elon Musk talks a ton about how AI is implemented in Tesla's self-driving cars and autopilot features. He quoted that Tesla will have fully self-driving cars ready by the end of the year and a robo-taxi version, one that can ferry passengers without anyone behind the wheel. So I can go on and on about the various AI applications. Since the emergence of AI in 1950s, we have seen an exponential growth in its potential. AI covers domains such as machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, natural language processing, knowledge-based expert systems, and so on. It has also made its way into computer vision and image processing. As AI is branching out into every aspect of our lives, is it possible that one day AI might take over our lives? And if it is possible, how long will this take? Well, it may be sooner than you think. It is estimated that AI will take over the world within the next 30 years. By then, I hope we develop some sort of teleportation machine that helps us escape our very own creation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. So that's all from my side.
So I think you would have seen how AI works and what are the applications of AI, everything. Okay. So after 30 minutes, okay, the resource person will be joining. So I mean, she'll be discussing about all the applications using the Jupyter Notebook and deep learning techniques, everything. And so I'll be giving the basics of machine learning and deep learning. Okay. So as you have seen, okay, so we have weak AI and strong AI, okay. So I mean, weak AI is, and then machines act as if they were intelligent, and strong AI is as if they have real conscious minds, okay. So in all the applications, we are using AI, right? For example, philosophy, mathematics, economics, neuroscience, psychology. In all the applications, we are using the AI. Okay, so so first you should know what is agent, right? Okay, so agent is nothing but so listen, so we have web robots host, and for example, simply we can say agent is nothing but which collects information. Okay, so and it will do actions based upon that information. For example, you take the for example, you instruct a robo, okay, to enter into a room and to take some things from one room to another room. So how the robo will move based upon the dimensions, right? If anything is between in the robot way, it has to move away from that. Okay, so it will measure the dimensions and directions. Okay, so and it will move. So agent is nothing but, okay, so based upon the information, okay, it gathers, okay, so it will move from one place to another place. So the basics is agent. Okay, so and the environment. Okay, so listen, so the agent gets information from the environment. Okay, so the perception is nothing but, okay, so which maps between the agent and the environment, right? Okay, so we have in all the models, okay, in AI models, perception function is very very important one, so which maps between the agent and the environment. Okay, so and then comes the utility function. Okay, so whether the agent works good or bad is given by the utility function. Okay, so will be coming to the environment might be these types, that is accessible, inaccessible, and your environment might be deterministic, non-deterministic, and static, dynamic, discrete, continuous. Okay, so these are all the types of environments in AI. Okay, so for example, driving a car. Okay, we have seen many applications now, right? Face detection. Okay, so everything. Okay, so based upon the environment. Okay, so it will be so now I'll be sharing another video. Okay, so which gives you some clear idea about the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Okay.
Hey, Alexa, what's the temperature in Chicago? And the Amazon Echo then translates that into zeros and ones and something the computer understands. Then it comes in and processes that information to identify what you're asking and what you need and where to get that information. And then it comes back and says, the current temperature in Chicago is 6 degrees Fahrenheit, or whatever it is at the moment. So this is a wonderful example of artificial intelligence that we're using right now today, where that's at as far as a commercial deployment. Machine learning. A machine learning example out there is Google. You're on your Google search engine, it comes up. You spend a lot of time on the first link you come into and you read the page, and Google looks at that and says, okay, he spent 5 minutes on this, let's give it a thumbs up. And then you go to the second page and the third page, you just kind of skip over them and glance at them for a couple seconds. And Google says, I wasn't interested in those pages. Let's give them a thumbs down. So this is a good example of machine learning as it starts guessing what you like and what you don't like. So it gives you more information along what you're going to read and actually use. And then we have an example of deep learning. In this example, we have a black and white image. It comes into, in this case, a neural network. Some people like to call it a magic box because it's hard to follow all that's going on in there. There's all these different weights and connections and nodes. And then it comes out and colors the beach ball, the people, the background. What's going on in here is the black and white image goes into this neural network. And before it's ever gone in, the neural network has looked at all these different pictures on the web or wherever it pulls the data from. And it's already itemized them and kind of separated them that we have some that look like beach balls, we have some that look like people, and it programs that so that when the black and white image comes in, it goes, okay, that piece right there resembles this and all these other photos. And the neural network is able to identify that and then color the beach ball with the colors that you see on there. So it gives it, this is really wonderful because they did a wonderful job coloring this picture. And that's the full setup is where the deep learning example comes in, and they usually center around neural networks. So we looked at a few examples. What's in it for you? First, we're going to talk about human versus artificial intelligence. This is very important because this is our marker. We as humans are amazing, and so we want to understand how artificial intelligence compares and what it does that it can accelerate above humans and how it can integrate with the human experience. What is machine learning and deep learning all about? Are they really all that different? We'll have a few more examples in here, and then we'll talk a little bit about types of AI and machine learning and comparing machine learning and deep learning, and finally a glimpse into the future. Human versus artificial intelligence. Humans are amazing. let's just face it, we're amazing creatures. We're all over the planet. We're exploring every niche and nook. We've gone to the moon. We've gone into outer space. We're just amazing creatures. We're able to use the available information to make decisions, to communicate with other people, identify patterns in data, remember what people have said, adapt to new situations. So let's take a look at this so you can get a picture. You're a human being, so you know what it's like to be human. Let's take a look at artificial intelligence versus the human. Artificial intelligence develops computer systems that can accomplish tasks that require human intelligence. So we're looking at this. One of the things that computers can do is they can provide more accurate results. This is very important. Recently I did a project on cancer where it's identifying markers. And as a human being, you look at that, and you might be looking at all the different images and the data that comes off of them and say, I like this person, so I want to give them a very good outlook. And the next person you might not like, so you want to give them a bad outlook. Well, with artificial intelligence, you're going to get a consistent prediction of what's going to come out. It interacts with humans using their natural language. We've seen that as probably the biggest development feature right now that's in the commercial market that everybody gets to use, as we saw with the example of Alexa. They learn from their mistakes and adapt to new environments. So we see this slowly coming in more and more. And they learn from the data and automate repetitive learning. Repetitive learning has a lot to do with the neural networks. You have to program thousands upon thousands of pictures in there, and it's all automated. So as today's computers evolve, it's very quick and easy and affordable to do this. What is machine learning and deep learning all about? Imagine this. Say you had some time to waste. Not that any of us really have a lot of time anymore to just waste in today's world. And you're sitting by the road. You have a whole lot of time passes by. It's a few hours. And suddenly you wonder, how many cars, buses, trucks, and so on passed by in the 6 hours? Now, chances are you're not going to sit by the road for 6 hours and count buses, cars, and trucks, unless you're working for the city, you're trying to do city planning, and you want to know, hey, do we need to add a new truck route? Maybe we need a bicycle lane, because we have a lot of bicyclists here, that kind of thing. So maybe city planning would be great for this. Machine learning. Well, the way machine learning works is we have labeled data with features. Okay, so you have a truck or a car, a motorcycle, a bus, or a bicycle, and each one of those are labeled. It comes in, and based on those labels and comparing those features, it gives you an answer. It's a bicycle, it's a truck, it's a motorcycle. Let's look a little bit more in depth on this. In the model here, the features we're looking at would be like the tires. Someone sits there and figures out what a tire looks like. It takes a lot of work. If you try to figure the difference between a car tire, a bicycle tire, a motorcycle tire, so in the machine learning field, this could take a long time if you're going to do each individual aspect of a car and try to get a result on there. And that's what they did do. That was this is still used on smaller amounts of data where you figure out what those features are and then you label them. Deep learning. So with deep learning, one of our solutions is to take a very large unlabeled data set and we put that into a training model using artificial neural networks. And then that goes into the neural network itself, and we create a neural network. And you'll see the arrows are actually kind of backward, but which actually is a nice point, because when we train the neural network, we put the bicycle in, and then it comes back and says, if it's a truck, it comes back and says, well, you need to change that to bicycle. And then it changes all those weights going backward. They call it back propagation, and let it know it's a bicycle, and that's how it learns. Once you've trained the neural network, you then put the new data in. They call this testing the model. So you need to have some data you've kept off to the side where you know the answer to. And you take that, you provide the required output, and you say, okay, is this neural network working correctly? Did it identify a bike as a bike, a truck as a truck, a motorcycle as a motorcycle? Let's just take a little closer look at that. Determining what objects are present in the data. So how does deep learning do this? Here we have the image of the bike. It's 28 by 28 pixels. That's a lot of information there. Could you imagine trying to guess if this is a bicycle image by looking at each one of those pixels and trying to figure out what's around it? And we actually do that as human beings. It's pretty amazing. We know what a bicycle is, and even though it comes in as all this information. And what this looks like is the image comes in, It converts it into a bunch of different nodes. In this case, there's a lot more than what they show here. And it goes through these different layers and outcomes and says, okay, this is a bicycle. A lot of times they call this the magic black box. Why? Because as we watch it go across here, all these weights and all the math behind this, and it's a little complicated on the math side. You really don't need to know that when you're programming or working with the deep learning. But it's like magic. You don't know, you really can't figure out what's going to come out by looking what's in each one of those dots and each one of those lines are firing and what's going in between them. So we like to call it the magic box. So that's where deep learning comes in. And in the end, it comes up and you have this whole neural network that comes up and says, okay, we fire all these different pixels and we connects all these different dots and gives them different weights, and it says, okay, this is a bicycle. And that's how we determine what the object is present in the data with deep learning. Machine learning. We're going to take a step into machine learning here, and you'll see how these fit together in a minute. The system is able to make predictions or take decisions based on past data. That's very important for machine learning, is that we're looking at stuff, and based on what's been there before, we're creating a decision on there. We're creating something out of there. We're coloring a beach ball. We're telling you what the weather is in Chicago. What's nice about machine learning is a very powerful processing capability. It's quick and accurate outcomes, so you get results right away. Once you program the system, the results are very fast. And the decisions and predictions are better. They're more accurate, they're consistent. You can analyze very large amounts of data. Some of these data things that they're analyzing now are petabytes and terabytes of data. It would take hundreds of people hundreds of years to go through some of this data and do the same thing that the machine learning can do in a very short period of time. And it's inexpensive compared to hiring hundreds of people. So it becomes a very affordable way to move into the future, is to apply the machine learning to whatever businesses you're working on. And deep learning. Systems think and learn like humans using artificial neural networks. Again, it's like a magic box. Performance improves with more data. So the more data the deep learning gets, the more it gives you better results. Scalability, so you can scale it up, you can scale it down, you can increase what you're looking at. Currently, we're limited by the amount of computer processing power as to how big that can get, but that envelope continually gets pushed every day on what it can do. Problem solved in an end-to-end method. So instead of having to break it apart, and you have the first piece coming in and you identify tires, and the second piece is identifying labeling handlebars, and then you bring that together, that if it has handlebars and tires, it's a bicycle, and if it has something that looks like a large square, it's probably a truck. The neural networks does this all in one network. You don't really know what's going on in all those weights and all those little bubbles, but it does it pretty much in one package. That's why neural network systems are best features are selected by the system. And it's important, you kind of put it as a on the side here. It's a subset of machine learning. This is important. When we talk about deep learning, it is a form of machine learning. There's lots of other forms of machine learning, data analysis, but this is the newest and biggest thing that they apply to a lot of different packages, and they use all the other machine learning tools available to work with it. And it's very fast to test. You put in your information, you then have your group of tests, and then you else on the side, you see how does it do. It's very quick to test it and see what's going on with your deep learning and your neural network. Are they really all that different? AI versus machine learning versus deep learning. Concepts of AI. So we have concepts of AI. You'll see natural language processing, machine learning, an approach to create artificial intelligence. So it's one of the subsets of artificial intelligence. Knowledge representation, automated reasoning, computer vision, robotics, machine learning versus AI versus deep learning, or AI and machine learning and deep learning. So we look at this, we have AI with machine learning and deep learning. And so we're going to put them all together. We find out that AI is the big picture. We have a collection of books, goes through some deep learning, the digital data is analyzed, text mining comes through, the particular book you're looking for, maybe it's a genre of books is identified, and in this case, we have a robot that goes and gives a book to the patron. I have yet to be at a library that has a robot bring me a book, but that will be cool when it happens. So we'll look at some of the pieces here. This information goes into, as far as this example, the translation of the handwritten printed data to digital form. That's pretty hard to do. That's pretty hard to go in there and translate hundreds and hundreds of books and understand what they're trying to say if you've never read them. So in this case, we use the deep learning because you can already use examples where they've already classified a lot of books, and then they can compare those texts and say, oh, okay, this is a book on automotive repair. This is a book on robotic building. The digital data is then analyzed. Then we have more text mining using machine learning. So maybe we'd use a different program to do a basic classify what you're looking for and say, oh, you're looking for auto repair and computers. So you're looking for automated cars. Once it's identified, then of course it brings you the book. So here's a nice summation of what we were just talking about. AI with machine learning and deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. So you can look at artificial intelligence as the big picture. How does this compare to the human experience in either doing the same thing as a human we do, or it does it better than us? And machine learning, which has a lot of tools, is something that learns from data, past experiences. It's programmed. It comes in there and it says, hey, we already had these 5 things happen. The 6th one should be about the same. And then there's a lot of tools in machine learning, but deep learning then is a very specific tool in machine learning. It's the artificial neural network, which handles large amounts of data and is able to take huge pools of experiences, pictures.
So I hope everyone had some basic knowledge about machine learning, AI. Okay, so I welcome now our honorable resource person, Dr. E. Sri Vidya Janani, ma'am. We are inviting you for the workshop. Thank you for giving your precious time and accepting our invitation for this workshop as a resource person, ma'am. I'll give you introduction about our resource person. Our resource person, Dr. E. Sri Vidya Janani, is currently head of Department of Anna University Regional Campus, Madurai Anna University Campus, and she has completed her PhD in 2016, and she is in the teaching field from 2010, and she has many publications and many research scholars under her, and she is guiding many research scholars. So I hope everyone will get a sufficient knowledge from the resource person. We welcome you, ma'am, once again. Session over to you, ma'am.
Vidya, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Very good morning to one and all. I would first of all like to thank the organizers of the program, Mrs. Vidya and Dr. Saravanan, for having given me this opportunity to be a resource person for the 5 days workshop on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I will be with you for all the 5 days, and I will be teaching you the basics and the major concepts of machine learning. And as far as today is concerned, I will be giving you an introduction on data analytics, and I would just teach you how to install the environment which is required for us to work with the projects of machine learning. And all the 5 days it would completely be coding based, and I have taken some innovative project works for you. All of them are real-time works, and you would gain a very good knowledge from the projects. As you walk with me, you will be able to gain very good knowledge on the programming side of machine learning. And as I've promised the organizing team that I would be dealing more with the project works rather than the theory works, which you would gain from your own classrooms. So it is going to be different, and kindly walk with me. So as and then you have any kind of doubts, you can clear it out. I would share with you my email ID and my mobile number if required, and you can just clear out your doubts as on date. Thank you. I would once again thank the organizers for giving the opportunity. And today, let us start with the introduction to data analytics. The first two days, I will be teaching you the basics of the basics and the basic programming, basic commands of data analysis. And from third day onwards, I will be teaching you the concepts, the major concepts of machine learning. So we will do machine learning for 3 days, and we will just start up with the data analytics, and the entire concepts will be clarified using Anaconda software. I will be following Jupyter Notebook. So that is why I have asked a session today morning. I wanted to get installed with the environment which is required. So let me give an introduction to data analytics, and then let us get into the environment setup. Okay. So let us get into the introduction of data analytics today. So what is data analytics? What is data is some kind of information. So data is exponentially growing in today's world with the increasing number of internet subscribers. So without a mobile phone and without an internet subscription, we are not even able to find a villager nowadays. So even each and every individual who is existing in the globe today is having a mobile phone. He's having an internet subscription also. So as the internet subscriptions are increasing day by day, data we leave over the internet is exponentially increasing. That is, whenever we get into a website or whenever we get into an application, a mobile application, we do leave some kind of information with the website or application. See, for example, whenever you want to buy a shoes, for example, you're trying to purchase a shoe and you want to find out, as an youngster, you want to find out which is the trending design of a shoe which you should purchase for sports or any casual wear or anything. So what you do is you go search, you just Google what is the trending shoes which could be worn for some sports, or which is the trending shoe for a casual wear. So you will be making a search over Google. So either you purchase or not, either you go for a purchase or not, from the very next minute you perform a search with the search engine, you will be able to find out advertisements. Whenever you log into the Facebook, you will start receiving advertisements of shoes. You will just receive advertisements from companies as Adidas, Reebok. The reason is that in the back end, people are analyzing whatever you search or whatever you browse through the internet. So that is how they do marketing, and that is how business is exponentially improvising across the globe. So you won't even understand how did you receive advertisements through Gmail and how did you receive advertisements through Facebook. The reason was that you have made a Google search, or you have made an Yahoo search, you have made some kind of browsing, you have left a data that you are interested with the purchase of a shoe, right? ஒரு ஷூ வாங்கிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருந்திருக்கு. People need to analyze that particular interest, and they are going to promote their business with your own interest and with the data which you are leaving across the internet. So this is what data analytics is. They எப்படி analyze பண்றாங்க? There is a process called data analytics which is going behind the internet, and the entire marketing and entire improvisation of businesses is completely dependent on data analytics nowadays. So as we leave the data, the business people, they don't leave our data as such. So we give our name, we give our age, we give our gender, and we leave our interests also. Either we are interested with music, or either we are interested with fashion wares, right? So we leave our interest over the internet, and this is where the data analytics companies and all the businesses around, they are capitalizing to promote their business, right? Raw data should not be left unused, right? So as we leave our data, it is just a raw data. We should not leave the data unused. Instead, the business companies, they try to analyze the data we leave. What are the data we leave? We leave our name, age, gender, our interests, our hobbies, all those are the data which we leave in the website and applications. And this business companies, they have data analytics team, and they are just not going to leave our data as a raw data. They are going to utilize our data to promote their business, right? So what they do is they will take some key insights from our data, right? So key insights, key insights is that the findings which they make in order to promote their business, those are called as key insights. So also they are going to make some kind of conclusions, and they are going to decide over our data, right? And based on the historical data, based on our own historical data, they are going to make some future centric predictions, right? So let us take this COVID-19 epidemic as an example. So COVID-19, the major research which is going behind this epidemic COVID-19 is that all the topmost countries across the globe, what they do is they are just analyzing the impact of this COVID-19 by the year 2023. Now we are with the year 2020, and how do we analyze the impact of this epidemic during the year 2023? So that is the major research analysis which all the topmost countries across the globe are doing, right? So as far as COVID-19 is concerned, what we do is we, as the medical checkups, as the medical diagnosis are carried out with this COVID-19 patients, the data collected is the gender, age, and either they are suffering from some other diseases, or they are diabetic, or they are suffering from some kind of lung infection. What are all the symptoms they are showing towards this epidemic virus? So these are the data which is collected, and we are just going to analyze all the countries are trying to carry out a research and find out the impact of this COVID-19 by the year 2023. That is the major research. So this is the brief introduction to data analytics. And now, how is the process of data analytics carried out? So now let me get into the process of data analytics. It involves 5 main steps, that is data collection, data cleaning, data manipulation, data analysis, and data visualization. See, very simple. Let's take a very simple example. Let me be in Tamil so that you understand the process of data analytics. You understand the steps very clearly. Because once I explain an example in Tamil, you will be very clear with it, right? Are you able to see the screen?
No, ma'am.
Vidya, are you able to see the screen?
No, ma'am.
Not
No.
yet?
No, ma'am. Saramnan sir,
Now you're not able to see?
Saramnan sir, are you able to see the screen, sir? Or otherwise my net connection is low. Saramnan sir?
Ma'am, for me also it is not visible. No?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Dilip
sir.
and Rajkumar.
Okay, sir. It's not visible, ma'am, actually.
Now is it visible?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Not yet
Ma'am,
it is
actually
visible.
it is
Whether
showing
whether
has
the-
started screen sharing, but not.
Now,
Yeah,
now
now it is
it's
visible.
visible,
Yes.
ma'am. Now it's visible.
Now it is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible,
Now
ma'am.
it is visible.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Okay, let me proceed. Let me proceed with the process of data analytics. So there are, as I said earlier, there are 5 main steps in data analytics. And let me explain it with an example for you. Consider you are booking a flight ticket, right? Consider you're booking a flight ticket to your native, right? So what would you do? You would just open a mobile application of an travel industry, and you will just find out which are all the flights available on the date you are wishing to fly, right? You will give details as your name, age, gender, and your departure date, departure time. You will find out which is the budget flight which will suit your own budget, and you will book a ticket, right? So that is over. So how do they collect data? So the travel industry behind, what they do is they collect your data. They start collecting your data, and they collect several parameters as your travel date, your return date, your departure date, your name, age, gender, and they just record it as a historical data so that they will categorize you as a potential customer or a loyal customer. So I hope you would all understand potential customer is. A potential customer, he just flies, he's not frequently flying, he's not a frequent flyer. He's just going to fly for some emergency purposes, and he's not going to stick over to a particular aviation industry. He will be once in a time he will just book with SpiceJet, once in a time he will book with Indian Airlines, right? So he is a potential customer. And in case of a loyal customer, the loyal customers are customers who are frequently flying, right? At least they fly for 2 or 3 times per month, right? And they stick on to the same aviation company. If they stick on to SpiceJet, they become loyal to SpiceJet, and they never deviate from their booking with SpiceJet, right? So these data, the data which you give through your mobile application or your web application, it is going to be collected by the travel agency, right? And it is going to be recorded as a historical data. And so this is the step one, that is data collection, which I have mentioned in the process of data analytics. And the next step is data cleaning. So why should you clean the data? So data cleaning, certain customers, they would have left some details without filling some details. They would have left out certain fields which is not mandatory, right? Probably age might not be mandatory, right? For a flight booking, age might not be mandatory with certain travel agencies, right? So in such cases, he would have left the fields without filling. That is, the fields which are not mandatory will be unfilled. It will be just left out by him, right? But another customer, not only you're booking with the aviation industry, another customer who is coming some other time for booking his flight, he would just mention his age, right? So data is collected for some fields. For some fields the data is missing, and for some fields, for some records, the data is present, right? So in such cases, the missing records, but their travel agency is not going to leave any of your record. They need each and every of the information which you leave for them is going to be very, very important for them. They're not going to just leave the data. What they do is they are going to clean the data instead, right? So since one customer is not filling his age category, they are not going to remove the field age from the record which they are collecting, right? Instead, they clean the data. What they do is, with your historical backup of records and with the other field records, what they do is they just normalize the field. They fit in some kind of value, for the unfilled field which you have left, right? They do some kind of normalization. They take mean of all the age values, and they fit in some kind of value for your age unfilled, right? So that's the process of data cleaning. As we get into the project work, you'll understand what data cleaning is in a better format, right? So for example, data cleaning in America, what they do is they give the month, right, in the date time format. Americans, they just give the month as the first field and the date as the second field and the year as the third field. But we as Indians, what we do is we give date as the first field, and the second field is going to be our month field, and the third field is going to be the year field, right? So there are some differences in how the customers are filling out the details in the form which is given. So all these details are to be normalized, right? They have to be normalized. They have to be formatted in some kind of a unique format, right? So that is the process of data cleaning, which is done in data analytics. And the third step is data manipulation. So what do they manipulate from the data which you have given? Data manipulation, what they do is, let us go with the same application example. You have completed your flight ticket booking, and they have recorded some kind of data which you have given, right? So they go with the third stage, data manipulation. See, they would have recorded your departure date, and they would have recorded your return date, right? They would have recorded your departure date, they would have recorded your return date. And from these two dates, what the analyst do is, he is going to find out the total number of days you are going to stay there at your destination. That is, either you're going to stay there, if you're going to Delhi, either you're at Delhi for 2 days, or you're staying at Delhi for 1 week. So this is going to be an input to another industry as the hotel industry, right? Immediately what they do is, if you're going to have a stay for 7 days with Delhi, what they do is, they are going to give this input to hotel industries, and you will start receiving advertisements from hotel industries. That is the top 7-star hotels at Delhi, 5-star hotels at Delhi. You'll receive some kind of vouchers, some kind of advertisements from the hotel industries which are available.
Ma'am, can you hear, ma'am?
Yes, I'm able to hear. But just the connection is not stable, I hope so. Just a
Yes, ma'am. Voice breaking, ma'am.
yes. Now you're able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Now
Vidya, you're able to hear me?
yes, ma'am. It's clear, ma'am.
You're able to see the slide?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. You're not able to see the slide?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You're able to see the slide?
Has started screen sharing. It's coming, ma'am.
Now you're able to see the slide?
No. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now it's coming, ma'am.
Okay. So the fourth step is, we have completed the data manipulation now. That is from your departure date and from your return date, they just manipulate another field called as total number of travel days, right? Total number of days you're going to stay there at your destination, and they are going to give this information as put hotel industries. You will start receiving invitations from hotel or malls anywhere, so that they promote their own business, right? So the fourth step is data analysis, right? Now they are going to, this is the key step, they are going to analyze the data. So what analyzes, how many, if they are going to take the total number of customers for SpiceJet as 100% for a month, right? So what is the ratio of potential customers, and what is the ratio of SpiceJet, right? And they do analyze that 55% of flyers, or flyers, they are loyal SpiceJet, and the remaining percentage, the remaining ratio, they are just potential customers of SpiceJet. And with this analysis, what they do is they want to catch up the potential customers. They want to attract the potential customers, right? So they want to attract the potential customers. If they want to attract the potential customers, they have to give some kind of schemes, right? They have to some kind of vouchers and schemes. Either it might be a free meal during their flight, or it might be a free snacks during the flight, right? So they do attract the potential customers with some fascinating meal schemes, or with some fascinating, right? So the potential customers do get attracted with the particular aviation company, and they transform themselves as loyal customers, right? So this is done in the backend through the data analysis process, and the final step is data visualization. So it's data visualization. With some logics, with some logics-based approach, and with some statistical-based approach, the data which is collected by the company is visualized in a graphical format. For example, right from the year 2010, right, or right from the year 2015, how the business has grown till 2020, and a prediction also will be made how the business will grow from 2020 onwards towards 2023 or 2025. So this is the prediction, and this is the visualization they make with the process of data analytics. These are the 5 main steps, and I'm just going to play you an small animation video so that you can very well understand the process which I have tried. In the animated video goes with the same application, that is aviation application. You just look into the application, it's a 2 minutes video. You will have a better understanding over the process of data analytics. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am. Ma'am?
Vidya, I'm actually not speaking, Vidya. I'm actually not speaking. I'm just playing a video, Vidya.
Ma'am,
Vidya?
but the slides are only visible, ma'am. The video is not visible, ma'am, actually.
Okay.
The data analytics slides are visible,
Now
ma'am.
is it visible?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is it visible, Vidya?
Ma'am, still slides are only visible, ma'am.
Slides are only visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is visible.
It's now visible, ma'am. It's now visible, ma'am.
Shall I play it? Shall I play?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Vidya?
Ma'am, you are playing the video, ma'am.
Playing the video? Vidya, I'm playing the video.
Okay, ma'am, but it's not visible, ma'am. I mean,
Not visible, Vidya?
yes, ma'am. Video is visible, ma'am. But the audio is
Okay.
not
Shall
there.
I play it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Audio is not clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Collecting data.
Ma'am, 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 can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, Vidya, I'm able to hear.
Ma'am,
Vidya?
ma'am, now it's audible, ma'am. But the video is moving, ma'am, but the audio
Okay.
is not there, ma'am, in the video.
Audio is not clear?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. But the video is moving, ma'am, previously.
Okay, but the video is based upon the same example which I have said them. So let them just visualize the video. I will share the Google Drive link with you, Vidya.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Vidya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay,
Vidya.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
I will just share the Google Drive link with you after the presentation.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just continue with the presentation. Now, I hope I have made a brief introduction on the process of data analytics, and now we are to explore the process of data analytics, right? So the next stage for us is to know what is the environment which we are going to work in case of data analytics for the next 5 days, right?
విద్య మేడం
Okay. So now let us get into the environment setup. So we are going to use Anaconda for data analytics. Anaconda is becoming widely popular because it is a one-set tool to carry out projects and design softwares which are related to data science and machine learning, right? So Anaconda is free and it is open source distribution. It supports languages as programming and R programming. And it gives an inbuilt support to Jupyter Notebook. We are going to work with Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is nothing. It is just an integrated development environment for Python programming. Hope you're able to see the slides.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You're able to see. Now you're able to see the slide.
No, ma'am. Has started screen sharing. It's coming, ma'am.
Now you're able to see the slide. No.
No, ma'am.
Now you're able to see the slide.
No, ma'am. It's coming. Started screen sharing only, ma'am.
Now
Ma'am, no, ma'am. I think
you're able to see the
network
slide.
is slow, ma'am. Network is slow, ma'am. Now it's okay, ma'am. Now
Network
it's
is
okay.
slow. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
You're able to see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are just dealing with the environment setup, right? We are going to use Anaconda. Anaconda is a free open source distribution of Python programming language and R programming language. And Anaconda supports several tools for machine learning and data science with just a one set install, right? And it supports Jupyter Notebook, which is a development environment for doing machine learning projects and data analytics projects, right? Okay. So we will see what Jupyter Notebook is. We are going to work with Jupyter Notebook for all the 5 days, right? So it is also open source. It is a web application. It allows to create documents which supports Python code, and it provides a support for all the steps of this data analytics process. Just it is a command-based language. It has several libraries which supports several modules for supporting this data analysis process, right? It includes libraries and modules for data cleaning and transformation process, the simulation and modeling process, right? And for visualization also is supporting several libraries. So we are going to work Jupyter Notebook. So now we have to progress with this Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to share you a link. Since the network is not stable today here, I'm just going to share you a link. You will see a video. It is a YouTube video where you will be clearly explained of how to install this Anaconda 3. See, I want you to install Anaconda 3 and you open up Anaconda 3 with Python 3 and above versions, right? From tomorrow, we are going to work on it. And now I'll share you the
Ma'am?
yes,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think.
Yes, now I'm sharing the link for installation process.
Okay, ma'am. Today, network connection is so poor, ma'am.
Yes, network is poor. I want all the participants to just listen to the YouTube video and get yourself installed with the Anaconda 3. Right, you install Anaconda 3 and we are going to work with Anaconda 3 will support tools as Jupyter Notebook and Spider. We are going to work with Jupyter Notebook, right? So it is not you just install Anaconda 3 and you just explore Jupyter Notebook today through this YouTube link, right? And from tomorrow onwards, we will be dealing with the different projects with data analysis and machine learning. thank you all for joining me today. And since it's not stable, I'm not able to clearly show you the slides, some of my slides, right?
Yes.
Hopefully, you would install. You will complete the installation process today so that it becomes easier for you tomorrow, right? As I get into the commands, you should be able to walk with me, and you should have your laptops or your mobile phones with you. You should all try whatever command I do. You should just try together with me. I will also share the links of the data sets tomorrow, which we are going to explore, right?
Okay.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Vidya, thank you, Vidya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the participants. So we'll meet again in the afternoon, 1:30. Dr. A. Saravanan will be taking about the decision trees at 1:30. So please, everybody join sharply at 1:30. Okay. So the YouTube link is shared in the chat box. Okay. So everybody, all the students, okay, install the Jupyter notebook in your laptop and ready with the laptop. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be executing in the Jupyter notebook. Okay. So as students, many students asked to start from the basics. I hope the resource person will be starting from tomorrow from the basics, okay, in the Jupyter notebook. And for the afternoon session, the link will be posted in the WhatsApp group, AI and Deep Learning Workshop WhatsApp group. So kindly see the link in the WhatsApp group and join at 1:30. Okay. So thank you, everybody. I'm closing the session. Okay. So we'll meet again at 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.